Okay, we got a sleeper that's rotten. Yeah, it's fucked up. It's condensed. It's drowned in some ballast and some water. So what are we gonna do about it? Right, what we're gonna do about it is this. We appear to work fit, in the right PPE, and then we go to the cause or the site warden to get the brief. What we got to do. So the brief would then, the site warden would then, cause would then tell us what to do. He would say, "Blah, you go over there. If it means we got to shut the train, shut the line down, we shut it down. If we don't have to shut the line down and there's 2 tracks running, we get a lookout over there, so yeah. So the lookout's over there, and there's still like 6, 7 of us. Let's just say 8 of us. So then the cos briefs us what to do. Puts us into a team. Team A, you get the you start digging the ballast out. You start digging the shoulder of the ballast out. But before we do all that, we must adhere to all the regulations, all the COSH, the Health and Safety Act 1974. What else? The LOLA, and so on and so forth. There's quite a few of them that we must follow, yeah? So once with that in mind, we get onto the work at hand. So, first things first, we look at the situation. What do we need to do here? We need to replace that ballast. We need to replace that sleeper because it's fucked. So what we do, the first fall, start digging up the shoulder of the ballast. Yeah? So you start digging that first fall. Careful not to further damage the ballast or slip or all that kind of stuff. Make sure you work safe. Okay, so once you're doing that, the next fall, we'll start unscrewing the AS bolts. Yeah, unscrewing the AS bolts from the chair that's hooked onto the ballast, that's hooked onto the sleeper itself. So once they've got that unscrewed using obviously people that are digging, they're using a fork, a bar, yeah, to dig up that ballast because some of it can get quite stuck. So they're digging it up and they're trying to they're digging off the ballast up to a safe place until, or even in a wheelbarrow if it's near at hand. And then once that's getting done, and once we then use a T-bar to unscrew the AS bolts from the chair. As I said, there's about 2 of them, 2 on each side, and I think we're working on a bullhead rail. So once we got these up, make sure when you take off the AS bolts, put them in a place where you know which hole they go into, because sometimes you can put the wrong bolt into another bolt and they don't fit. That's another problem. So you take them out, put them aside. Then we begin to knock out the key. We're gonna use a hammer for this. Stand in a 180 degree, because if you stand straight on, you're bound to like hurt someone because you don't even see your peripheral vision. Whereas if you stand 180 degree on, you just gently knock it out underneath your legs. So once you've done that, you then start to remove the pandrel clips from the chair, and we use this by using a pandrel lifter. You lock it on, and then you pull it, and the clip just comes off easy. So far we're digging up the ballast. We've removed the AS bolts from the chair. The chair basically is the houses the rail, and under this rail is where the chair sits, and this chair is then hooked onto the ballast, so to the sleeper. So we're then gonna unfasten this sleeper from the bolt, unfasten the AS bolts, and put them aside. As I already said. So now we've got this three works done. So now we are now at a stage where we can now remove and replace the sleeper. What we do then, under that rail, where the sleeper kind of laid, we've got to clear that. We've got to clear the ballast from under that rail. So we clear each side off the rail, under the rail. We clear all the ballast away, so we can get this thing dragged out safely without hurting no one. So to do this, we're going to use some tongs, and these tongs are used to lift up the sleeper. So you lift up the sleeper gently, not too high, and you drag it underneath the ballast, so underneath the rail, slowly, 14, with one obviously communicating what to do. You put your leg over the rail, being careful not to sort of touch it or slip over it, whatever, and you put your foot in a safe place, and you then drag the sleeper underneath. So once you drag it underneath safely, you get it out, and you put it aside, and you can mark it. This item, this ballast is not usable, it's damaged, or whatever. You mark it with something. So you just mark it that it's out of use. So then, the next step, obviously getting a new ballast, getting a new sleeper. So you bring the sleeper in, same crew, 3 of us, using the tongs. We bring it in and we slide it into the same place as we brought it out from. We slide it in, and hoping that it's the same measurements. So once we slided it in, put all where it came from, we then we start to unscrew. So we start to put the screws back in. So we tighten the screws with put the AS bolts back into the ferrule the chair. We put the AS bolts back into the chair that hooks onto the onto the sleeper. So once that's in there, both of them are in there, locked. Both sides are in there, locked. Using a T spanner. Sorry, we lock it tight, not too tight, because we don't want to break the yellow ferrule that's got to be sort of 2 millimeters up or something. So once that's locked in, we then put back in the key that sort of lodges behind. It lodges between the housing, the web of the rail, and it goes in there, and you knock it back in again with a hammer, and that stays fit in there. And then you get a pandrel clip inserter, put the pandrel clip back into its place, and then you push it, and then it's back into its place, nice and tight. Obviously using one man, that's a one-man job. After that, once, obviously on both sides of the rail, once that's done, once that is complete, we then revert back to the ballast that's already been dug, like halfway, like on his shoulder length, on his shoulder. Put the ballast back in, dig it back in, make sure it's level and profiled out. Um, its original place. Make sure there's no ballast left on under the rail. Make sure there's no ballast on top of the sleepers, so it's nice and profiled. You know. So once that's done, um, I do believe the job is completed. But then after that, we have to obviously go through sort of the checks, make sure that everything is fitted properly, um, tools are packed away, there's no debris left around, hanging around, lying around. If you can, wait for a train to pass to see how it looks, how it feels. If it's all right, then you've done a good job. Um, yeah, and sometimes you can get like yeah, as I said, you can get ballast stuck somewhere that might affect the train itself. So that's why you got to make sure all the ballasts are clear from the rail, from underneath the rail. Anything that the train can accidentally hit, and then it might hit someone or whatever. Accidents do happen. It's all about safety in our business. So then, once that's completed, everything's nice and profiled. You've taken all the tools away. You've made sure you work by the regulations. You make sure you're safe. And the cause is now, I'm going to look at inspecting what we've done. Hopefully the job was done all right. So that's how you replace a sleeper. It's not easy. I mean, it's hard work, yeah, but it's pretty straightforward, really. Then we want to talk about replacing the rail itself. And there are two types of rail that we normally, there's a continuous rail, and then there's I forgot really. I'm just thinking on top of my head about all what I've learned. And then basically, there's a ball head rail, and there's a flat bottom rail, right? A flat bottom rail can sit on its own without any aid, whereas the ball head rail needs something to keep it locked in, something like that, if I remember well. So we're going to change a ball head rail today. First of all, the first thing we need to do, as is in previous, abide by all the rules, regulations. Refer to the cause site warden for the briefing. Make sure everywhere that needs to be worked is safe to be a safe working environment. Yeah, so on and so forth, right? I don't want to drag it on and do it bit by bit. It can be pretty tedious and long-winded. But once the cause is briefed you again, you're now going to do, this is heavy work, heavy lifting, right? So you assemble the four-man team. So whilst the rail is shut down, so if you're obviously changing the rail, the track is shut down. So that's shut down. So then you're gonna basically, let me drink some drink. I'm thirsty. Now, the time for changing the rail. Now you don't need to remove the AS bolts and this, because the AS bolts is just the housing that houses the rail. All we need to do really is obviously take out the keys, take out the Pandora locks with all the right tools that I've already mentioned before. And then one that I haven't mentioned before is then if the rail is sitting by a joint to another rail, yeah, What's connecting these rails together is called a fish plate. A fish plate has 4 bolts in it. So these bolts is what we've got to take off, right? And we can use this, we can take off these bolts by using either a T spanner, or if we want to get it done quickly, we use a wrench. So let's suppose we've got a wrench. We got a wrench, put it in, and it will come out easily, right? So we take out the fish bolt, and behind the fish bolt is what you call I think it's what's it called again? I can't remember what it's called. I think it's one little black thing. What's it called? I can't remember what it's called now. Is it a filter? I can't remember what it's called. But anyway, you take off the fish plates. These fish plates are on both sides of the rail to keep the rails together, right? So you take them off using a wrench, you put them aside, and make sure, this is very important, because these bars, they never match. Make sure that you know which hole they came out of, yeah? And when you go to replace them, you don't replace it as in 1, 2, 3, 4, A, B, C, and D. You replace it as in 1, and then number 3, and then number 2, and number 4. Like that. You know, you don't ask me why, but that's how it works. That's how the geometry seems to require it to be. So, once that's done, then you start to see that the rail is now loose. Yeah? You can easily pick it up. But by picking it up, you're going to need the tools. So you're going to need the foreman, one in front to communicate on where to go. So what you do, you get the tongues, put it on both sides of the rail, bend your knees, one in front communicating. When you move the rail, make sure you move in one synchronized motion. Yeah? Like left leg 1, left leg 2. All of you doing the same motion, and then you walk so you don't fall down, because when that hits your foot, or when that falls down, it can do a lot of damage. And so it can even chip. It can even like, whatever. So anyway, you take the rail, all of you lift it with these tongues, come out, one's communicating where to go. Move forward, turn around 180 degrees, bring it back round again, so on and so forth, yeah. But let's suppose that we got a new rail. So then we leave that rail on the side. We then say that rail is defected or damaged, so we can't use it. We mark it just in case people want to use that rail again. They have to see that rail is marked. We mark it as damaged, defected, whatever. We bring the new rail in. Okay, using the same method, we put the tongues in. All of us, one communicating, leading the way, and then we move it to the side and side upwards. We lift it up. We put it back into the chair, the case, the chair, line it up. So once that's done, everything is done. It looks all right. The team a bit shattered, but hey, it's back into the case. Next job is now to put back all the things we've taken off, right? Which were the pandrel lock, the pandrel clip, the key, and what else was there again? The AS bolt was still there because we don't need to be taking the chair off. I think there was something else, wasn't there? The pandrel lock, the key, and what was the other thing? I forget, but it'll come to me in a bit. So once we got all this locked in, yeah, you can see, and the fish bolt, yeah. So we then attach the fish bolt back into the same place. We put, as I said, we put the bolts back in. How not how they came out, but those numbers, as in A first, and then C, and then A, B, and then D, in that order. And then once that's done, we can see now that the rail It's looking sparkling and it's brand new. It's in its case. It's in the chair. Right? We can see that. What we can't see with the naked eye is the measurements, right? So we gotta try and find the count. We gotta try and find the gauge. A normal gauge should be 140 between both rails, right? It's got to be kind of like the same as it came off, right? Which was 140, 1435 millimeters by 120 millimeters, 1420 millimeters, right? We allow that cant for when a train turns. So a train's gonna need that little height to turn. That's why there's always a slight difference between the left and the right. Okay. So then we get this measurement tool, put it in, measure it, make sure that the maths adds up, the measurement adds up, and if it's correct, then yeah, that's done. If it's not correct, and for whatever reason, we report back to the COS or site warden, to brief us what to do next. But let's just say it's correct. So we've now got the new rails in. The measurements are correct. Everything's tightened in. We got ourselves a brand new rails, right? We got ourselves brand new rails in. Boom, bam, finish, simple. Pussy-o. It's simple, right? So what do we do? What do we do then? We start thinking about clearing up. But before we do that, we got to test out this rail, see how it operates, see how it works. We wait for a train to come by and test it, to see how it stays, to see how if it wobbles, if there's any dynamic or if there's any static movement. If not, then it looks all right to me, and it looks all right to the COS. I know all the team done a great job. But yeah, so once that is finished, we start thinking about clearing up, and remember to always report in, I can't remember what it's called now, is it the RT9902, something like that. Anyway, before I start waffling and chatting shit, I'm learning myself, right? But I'm just getting the gist of it. But I think you can kind of generally get the gist of how we change a rail and how we change a sleeper. Bearing in mind there are two types of sleepers actually there are four types of sleepers, but the ones that are commonly used are the wooden sleeper and the concrete sleeper. And you don't want to be doing the concrete sleeper, trust me. That shit is heavy. I'll leave that for another day. But anyway, once the rail is done, everything's good. We tested it. We cleared the site, and we reported it in the RT thingy. Yeah, and that's that. I would guess. But I'm still learning. I will get there eventually. I was ill today, so that's why I'm working out now. I'm going back, in a couple of hours. Yet I'm here working out. How does that make any sense? But anyway, before I digress, that's generally it. How to change a sleeper and how to change a rail. Please follow, like, share, comment, and subscribe. If you like my YouTube, if you like my TikTok, I'm gonna add my PayPal link. Feel free to do what you do, donate. I'm really trying here. I'm really trying to give it a go here, right? I've had a bad life, and the opportunity has arisen for me, and I'm grabbing it And the same way the devil is there. The devil is still there, bruv. It's still dragging me back. You don't deserve it, you. What you doing there? You don't deserve that shit. But I still go. I wear nice clothes. I go out there. I flex. I show the people that listen, I don't care if I never had shit. No one ever loved me. I don't care about that. Yeah, I want to do shit legitly. I want to do it legit. I want to have peace of mind, bro. I don't want no badness no more. I'm done with that. If you knew me, if you know me, you know me, star. If you know about me, you know about me. And I ain't even bullshitting. I don't talk a lot. But when I fucking talk, right, I'm like a whirlwind, bruv. Yeah, let's just forget, let's just leave it there like that. So anyway, yeah, that's about it, right? So if there's anything else I need to find that I've forgotten, because this job is so dangerous, right? Is health and safety is off the utmost. You can't come to work drunk. You can't come to work on weed or drugs. You cannot come to work unfit. Let me get that into you. If you're gonna do this job, you have to be on your toes every single second of the day. Yeah? Because that train can just lick you like that. It takes 4 seconds for someone to hear the train. It takes 4 seconds before you can hear the train come to you. By that time, you're probably dead by then. Because some trains are just silent. They move in silence, bruv. Yeah? I'm telling you. So, yeah. But I gotta do a lot of things right now. There's one thing worrying me. And those that know. It's bothering me, bruv. If I don't do it, if I don't get past that obstacle, it's over. And I pray to God to have mercy on me. Let me do that. Let me pass that thing. I can't let man know, but those that know. I have to pass that thing. Don't worry about the exams and all that shit. Yeah, I can probably pass that. Yeah, I can probably revise and pass that. Yeah. But there's one thing that you can't pass. Yeah. If you know what I'm talking about, people. But drastic actions calls for drastic measures. Do you understand? In this time where I'm in my worst, yeah, I'm on my face, no one to turn to, nowhere to run, nowhere. When you got no food, you can't go nowhere. When you got no what, you can't go anywhere. It's as simple as that. It's hard times, but I refuse to go out there and beg. Because I sacrifice myself. People say, why you look so young for your age? You know why? Because I saw the future. I saw the future, bro. Bro, I saw the future. I knew it was coming for me. So I thought, okay, if I start working out now, constantly, make it a lifestyle, I'm buying myself some time. And plus I smoke. So maybe when I smoke, I'm just trying to make up for the smoking thing. I'm just waffling, bruv, but still. Anyway, let me go on and then just listen to some music, man, and just keep working out, yeah? But man, them, pray for me still. And remember, people, when you make it big in life, remember who were there for you when you was nothing. And those that weren't there for you when you was nothing, they didn't give a shit about you. Remember those people, because they're going to come out of the woodworks. They're going to come out of the woodwork when you make... When you make something on yourself, they're gonna come out. Oh, hello, mate. Remember me? How you doing? Give me £10. I can buy some. Get the fuck out of here, you pussy, yo. Remember them days. But with me now, God knows my heart and what I really want to do. I want to help people. Yeah. I'm the kind of person where if I want to see people happy. Yeah, these man, them like homeless. They're homeless out there, and they got nothing. Yeah, it's tough. It's tough. But some people don't see this. They don't realize how tough it is for people out there. But if I can one day, if I can, build a big house somewhere, some big house to house a lot of people, swimming pool, all of that. Make it nice for them to come in there. You come in there for a year, and you come in there and when you get clean, once you're in there, you're gonna study for something. Then when you get clean, you're gonna come out reformed. None of this waste of shit, bruv. Just get the people clean. Invest in the people, and you see what they can do. You know? But as we are now, this country is fucked. It's fucking up people, bruv. People are hungry, they can't go to work because they're fucking hungry. They can't travel to work because they can't afford to get fucking bus fare and all that shit there. I'm waffling again. Anyway, people, remember those people, yeah? When you make it in life, stick to yourself. Look after the family still, yeah? Because only they matter. Friends don't matter. Because there are no friends. Trust me, there are when the chips fucking fall, there are no friends. Because they will sell you like they sell fucking weed, bruv. Do you know what I mean? That's how life is, man. Anyway, we're gone.